Hey guys, it's Matt with 731woodworks.com. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a framed chalkboard. This is a perfect project for a beginning woodworker. It's very simple, 1/4-inch plywood and some 1x material. I'm using pocket hole joinery and a couple of brad nails. If you don't have brad nails, you can use traditional nails. So I stained this a dark walnut around the edges, and then we just use chalkboard paint. It's Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint. So this is an awesome project. You can put the family menu on there. You can put notes to your family members. This makes this a great decoration piece for your home. This is a very simple project that I think most anybody can do. Let me show you how to build it. All right, so I ripped my pieces to 2.5 inches wide because I didn't want a thick frame around this one. These are 3.5 inch or 1x4s, which are 3.5 inches wide, 3/4 inches thick. I've ripped them down to 2.5 inches wide just to give it a slimmer look because I didn't want those. I thought 3.5 inches would be just a little bit too wide for this project because it's only going to be a 2 foot by 4 foot board that we're making. So I'm gonna take my router with a straight bit. I believe it's a 1/4 inch straight bit. I've got my edge guide on, and I'm gonna cut a rabbet around the inside edge of this frame so that the plywood can inset. That'll just kind of give it a more finished look, you know, once it's all put together. We're gonna have to paint that chalkboard paint first, let that dry, probably a few coats, and then we're also gonna stain this frame a dark walnut. If you don't have a rabbet bit and you can't cut that in any way, you can use your table saw to cut a rabbet out of there. So I'm gonna take the Kreg rip cut and rip the piece to the width that I need. And if you don't have a Kreg rip cut, you can just use a circular saw. But what a Kreg rip cut does, it's just an edge guide for your saw, and you can set it to any width that you want, up to 24 inches. I highly recommend that. It'll make your life so much easier if you're breaking down plywood. So I just took, I got an old bed sheet that I've been cutting up, and that's what I use as some of my rags, especially for this pre-stain conditioner because it doesn't take a whole lot. So what I do is I'll take it and I'll load the rag pretty generously and just rub this on. I mean, it doesn't have to be dripping wet, but you do need to cover it well. Once it's all covered, we're gonna let that dry for about 30 or 45 minutes, and then we'll put a coat of stain on it. And the stain color we're gonna go with is Minwax Dark Walnut. And the reason you use this pre-stain conditioner is to keep it from being blotchy, especially on pine and spruce, which is what this is. If you don't use this, I found that it doesn't take the stain as well. So we got it stained with the dark walnut. That looks really good. That's gonna look nice. It's nice and stained. We're gonna let that dry for just a little while. before we worry about putting a clear coat on there. Typically, if you can wait 8 hours, at least works best. Now I'm gonna move on to this, our chalkboard. We're gonna use this Rust-Oleum chalkboard paint. It's just a black chalkboard paint. And I'm just gonna take this is like a 2-3 inch roller and just gonna roll that on. Probably gonna take about 3 coats, at least 3, maybe 4. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. If you share this on your social media, I give you a virtual fist bump. Hey, and don't forget to check the description down below. I put links down there to the tools and supplies I'm using, as well as some useful show notes.